You could learn how to use tin snips. And fucking...
What is a tinner?
A tinner, they call them tinners. They're HVAC. They do heating I'm only 3 weeks in, but they do...
Heating and vacuums?
HVAC, yeah, they... Heavy vacuums, HVAC. No, I don't know. Heating, vent, and air conditioning, I think, is what it's called.
Oh, I was going to ask you, why do you think it's called that?
Why do they call them?
That's a boring one.
HVAC. I thought it was just a vacuum.
Isn't it the coolest name, though, at any of those professions?
HVAC.
It sort of sounds like a Terminator, you know?
I mean, yeah.
It's like the model of Terminator that's going to come clean your ducts for you.
Yeah. HVAC. Tim Stone's HVAC. Anybody knows Stone Mechanical? Shout out Stone Mechanical. You guys can get some residential work done pretty cheap.
I'm only leaving that in if they agree to give me money.
Well, that's Justin's cousin, so hopefully he'll give you something
I don't care.
else.
He needs to pay me too.
He'll give you something else.
I'm cool. All right, so you were talking earlier about motivation and like why you struggle with it, and I think it ties into what you're talking about with the job.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to stay motivated most of the time, like especially when I want to be a full-time musician and try to make music and be creative. I mean, I don't know. I know you be killing it. I can't kill it like that. That shit is hard.
I don't think I kill it that hard though. Like I think there's a perception that I'm killing it, but it's really like there's so many days where I'm just sitting there like staring at a blank computer, just like fucking around on Facebook.
Yeah.
Nothing to do.
You definitely have a better drive than I do too. Like, I don't know. I think about music constantly 100% of the day, but I'm a weird mental person where it's like at the end of the day I'm more mentally tired than I am physically tired, but it kind of just all ties in and ends up just me being fucking
Well, I was thinking
on
about
the
that
couch.
too, because earlier you were telling me that you do better like when you're like fed and you're feeling like good
right.
and all that shit.
Health ties into that shit too. So it's like if I have a good breakfast, if I eat lunch, dinner, all that, drink lots of water, I feel like I'll probably I'll go home, do my laundry, and I sit down and start working on stuff. It's how it happened yesterday. But other days I'm just like smoking weed all day, eating fucking McDonald's. I go home and I don't feel like doing anything, but I was thinking about it all day. Like, I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna do this, but it's just like, fuck.
See, I can agree with that to some extent, but here's the difference is like I usually make music. I like put it in my brain like I'm making music regardless of what happened earlier that day, and I don't eat and I like don't need good sleep to do. I feel like I'm better without good sleep or any of that.
See, that's crazy. That's like
I guess a lot of people do think that's weird, but I'm not the only one who's done that. I was reading this, I don't remember what it was. It was like an interview or something with the comic book writer Grant Morrison. Yeah. And he was saying he used to, on purpose, before he wrote certain things, he would literally like fast and just like maybe eat a bunch of drugs or whatever.
Exactly.
He would like fuck himself up to the point of like delirium before he wrote, because he was like, that's the state I need to be in.
Okay.
I need to be like a different version of myself in order to do this. So you don't feel like you make music good in that state though?
Yeah.
Or is it that you never even get to the music in that state?
I don't even know, man. It's like it could be either or for me, but it's like Jack Black said, never eat before a mission. You don't remember that?
No, but you're saying always eat before a mission. No, I know.
Apparently, I think I have diabetes. Who knows what's going on with me? I haven't been to the doctor.
I don't think you have
I'm
diabetes.
not trying to scare our fellow listeners, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just weird and
Why
mental.
would you have diabetes? You need to explain that one real quick.
Okay, well, I don't know, dude. Maybe that's why I'm always tired. Maybe I'm fatigued because I'm not having enough sugar. Who knows? My mom has diabetes. She said she had diabetes. I don't know.
No, that could be, but like if you had like legit diabetes, you would need insulin.
She doesn't have legit diabetes.
She's probably, what is it, hypoglycemic?
Exactly.
Which means your blood sugars tend to run low.
Exactly, yes.
And then there's hyperglycemic.
Right.
This dog is scratching herself in the background.
Sage, go away. Should we let her out?
She won't go. She's a little bitch. She just wants to sit next to me.
Shout out to Sage on the mic.
Shout out to Sage. She has allergies.
Oh, man.
So she's all itchy today. So, yeah, sorry for the dog noises. What were we talking about?
See, that's what happens when you smoke pot and try to be an awesome rock star at the same time. I don't remember most of my chords or riffs. I just freestyle.
Oh, diabetes. All right, you're not diabetic.
Yeah, I'm probably not diabetic.
Maybe.
I'm more mental. I think about shit a lot. But yeah, you do too. See, you're fucking way more mental than most people.
People think I'm mental.
Not mental. This guy's not crazy. Shout out my boy. No.
Like,
come on.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just have a different type of mind.
Right.
I think this is how music works for me.
It's probably why we vibe, man. We overthink shit.
I digest things. Like, I read a book, I grab a book, I go buy one or whatever, or a comic book, whatever, and I read, or I watch, like, a documentary or whatever, and I just soak things in, and then it comes out later, but not out of, like, a conscious, like, I don't know, like, this, I'm gonna try to talk about this thing. I just talk, and then, like, these threads that have been developing in my head without me knowing kind of come out.
See, that's like, yeah, that's cool. And you're inspired by a lot of different things, too, so that's
yeah, but
cool.
It comes out more subconsciously. Like, I don't need to think most of the time when I'm making music.
Yeah.
And sometimes that does lead to bullshit
music. The actual process of making
music
for me is, like, just like you said, it's kind of freeing. And, I mean, when I'm actually doing it, this shit is, you know, it's streamlined, but for me, I'll make something and then I just like walk away from it, and then like I don't ever get back to it. But I can't make anything new until I finish that one. I'm real weird in the mind.
Yeah, your process is also so much more linear than mine, because I'm the type of person, like, and maybe it's because I do so much of everything myself on a song. It's hard for me to have days where I make a beat, write 2 verses and a hook, and record it all in one day.
Yeah,
that happens maybe like a couple times a year. What it mostly is just like, I'll make a beat, maybe not even a full beat. I'll have to come back to that later, write. And I start a bunch of different projects at the same time, too. Like, I'm usually writing 5 or 6 songs at the same time.
Right.
Just going back and forth between them through the month or whatever, however long it takes.
I try to do that, but it gets convoluted. Like the beats you gave me, I got a couple here and there, but I stick to one. Like when she gave me that Dr. Jones, I mean, I was fucking on it. That's the one I worked on, and I just finished it. So
is that lack of motivation, or is it also just a part of like how you work?
It's also like, what do you mean? Say again?
So I'm saying, like, the motivation thing. Is it a lack of motivation completely, or is it also just the way you tend to work on things?
It's honestly, I mean, procrastination, because I don't know, man. Like you said, when humans are left to their own devices, we're lazy as shit. I don't understand that part of fucking
No, I think it is. Yeah, and to clarify for anyone listening, this is my weird theory that, like, all right, everyone complains about that we have to have jobs, and it sucks, and it's a weird societal thing.
Right.
But my theory is that if you just leave us to ourselves and be like, you don't need a job, we'll just fuck off all day, and everyone will starve. Like, there'll be a few people that are just OCD enough to be like, God, I need to grow some fucking crops. But most of us will just die off and not do anything.
Seriously.
Like, jobs came into play for a reason somewhere.
Exactly. And what he says is true. Like, in my safety meeting the other day, the chick brought up the same kind of thing. She's like, humans are kind of lazy, you know, we'll probably just walk past something and do it the harder way, fucking sacrifice our back the wrong way to pick something up because we're too lazy to bend down 2 more inches. It's like, I don't know, maybe I smoke a lot of weed too, but once I'm in the fucking process, it's cool, but then once I step away, it seems like I won't come back.
Well, another part of the creative process is distracting yourself. But I think maybe you do more distracting yourself in other ways. Like you said, you can smoke weed all day and watch Netflix.
Exactly.
And maybe not, like, think about how much.
And that's kind of mindless. Like, I don't even
weighing down on you or whatever.
Movies and television and entertainment, that shit's like mindless. You're not really thinking. You're just letting them doing the trajectory for you, like the image, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're
exactly,
just telling you a story.
Yeah, and I'm saying, like, my same version of that is
we're creating
music,
the stories, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're creating the landscape and all that, which is like totally opposite spectrum. So it's like I'm more of a fan, but honestly, I want to be an artist, and that's why it's like I kind of struggle with that because I'm such a fan of all that shit too. Like, I fucking love going to shows and turning up. Shout out Lil Durk. If you ever been to a Lil Durk concert, okay, I did it once. It was great. But, yeah, I'm just saying that's that, you know.
That's funny. Does that give you motivation, though, when you see a show? Does that give you motivation?
Sometimes it does, man. I'll tell you what, the other day, I mean, I love Flatbush. Everyone knows I'm into the zombies. You know, the Beast Coast be killing it. Shout out Beast Coast. I'm stoned. But
shout out to everyone.
Shout out to everyone. Shout out to America and all the other ones that don't have that name. And I just saw a Snapchat from those dudes in the studios, you know, and the one dude was in the studio just getting it going, and that motivated me to get the rest of that song done. And I was like, fuck. So it's kind of like an envious, jealous thing. It's like, oh man, I should be grinding. I got stuff to be doing too.
I fuck with that, but for me, it's not the grinding part. It's only when I hear a good song, though. When I hear a song that really, like, kills me in a way that I wish I made it. There you go, too.
Exactly, yeah.
That gives me that. And shows not as much, though.
Shows not really as much.
Shows probably give me the same thing, but in a different type of way than you. You might see a show and be like, oh, I gotta go home and work on shit so I can do a show.
Yeah, exactly. The motivation for the show comes in. It's like, I don't know. God damn it, Sage. Come on, man.
Sage is fucking up in the background.
Get it together. You got Beagle across the way. I forgot what we were talking about. Shows.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think if you see a show and get motivated, it's because, like, you were hype on the performances and all that. For me, it's way different. For me, it's... So, sidebar, I don't really like concerts. I'll explain that some other day. But usually, I'm just like, that fucking sucked. And, like, I know what I would have done there.
Right.
So this is my idea to make a concert more interesting for, like, any fucking weirdos out there like me that are, like, missing something.
Right. And it's like, I've seen a lot of shows, and like you said, there's a lot of shows where it's like, really, like, shout out to Lil Durk. I don't know, but, I mean, he could have rapped a lot longer, you know. There's a couple times where he's just standing there letting songs play, and it's like, really, man? It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's probably just because we're from that old school hip-hop background where we gotta have the instrumental. We don't like the lyrics in the back of our track. I mean, some of those dudes make it like too easy. It's like, I could be doing that, and that's where that kind of comes in.
It is, but you know what? I got enlightened on this a few weeks ago when I played that acid test show. Because here's the thing. Most people there did have the background.
Right.
When Titus and Toxic rocked their set, they had the background vocals.
Right.
Which, yeah, from our school, we see that, and we're kind of like, oh, that's fucking weird, man. I don't know about that. It's like
you're performing. It's not necessary.
Yeah, but, so Toxic told me something kind of contrary. He was like, I always like to have those under my thing. And I found out why when I saw it. It's because they're so hype.
Right.
They can't even necessarily, like, breathe through their whole verse.
That's exactly what
So they almost have the music playing under it. They'll keep dancing and just getting live.
Right.
And it's kind of like... It's just a different experience, I think, for the crowd. For me, it was way more technical. Like, my sets, like, yeah, I don't have background vocals. I hardly, like, get a breath in. You know, I try to do the whole thing. But I think it's more like, I don't take people out of themselves in the same way. Right. To where they want to jump around and mosh or dance or whatever. Mine's more just, like, mathematical. Like, look at this symposium the kid is doing. Some shit, of that nature.
Right. And that's the type of music that, you know, you make too. And it's like, don't get me wrong, your shit's great. But yeah, like, some people, it's more thinking for your shit. You're actually putting something in their mind to think about. Whereas, like, turn up trap music is mindless, like that entertainment that I was
Yeah, it's not even that I'm necessarily trying to do that. It's just like...
You get good reactions from people. Trust me, I've seen it.
I wouldn't make music unless... I was doing that, though, because I had no interest in making the other kind.
Right.
And it's not that I'm against it, like, as a person. It's just like I said, I don't think about it when I make a song. I just, like, sit down, and sometimes a song happens.
Yeah.
And that's just, I don't know, like... Alright, this is, like, my favorite Neil Gaiman quote. I'm paraphrasing heavily, but he was just talking about, like, stories, because he's a writer.
Yeah.
And he's like, stories aren't something you make, you find stories. And I think that's true both ways for musicians, because you have a lot of musicians that are more in the craft. They think about it beforehand. I'm going to make this thing,
right? This
style, this aesthetic. And then you have the other people that are just like, I'm going to fuck around until I find something.
That's funny, man. That's why you got to listen to my dude Morpheus' track. I mean, we were talking about music the other night, and he was saying that he gets kind of like a lot of feedback where it's like, oh, he sounds like Tipper, and it's same thing me and you, man. Like, he actually loves Tipper. Remember, how everyone said our shit sounded like Annie Con, blah blah blah. Of course we did, because we fucking listened to Annie Con, and that was our shit. Well, this dude, he said his new approach is like, step away from what you were just saying, make that whole, he step away from that aesthetic where it's just like, think about the whole track and just do what happens, try to be as most creative as possible when you're creating your shit. And I think that's a great approach. I do that most of the time when I make beats, but I've always been a drum head, and I try to emulate shit. So it's like, I always got like the current break in there. I got the current trap break, or if it was like 2000, I'd have that jigga shaky shit.
That's whatever. I think that's beside the point. Like, things
I can't get away from
trap,
it. I can't get away from it.
But I'm telling you, like, the people that are doing trap now, especially the kids in like Titus's generation. Titus is 20, I believe.
Yeah.
So his generation, in like 10 years, there's going to be some other weird new style of rap, and they're going to be like, what the fuck is this? This is dumb.
Seriously.
The same way the boom bap heads are with trap. But Titus gave me another really cool point. He was like, trap music is actually closer to like old school hip hop, you know what I mean?
Dude, that's exactly my point too.
The focus is all on 808s
right,
and simple rhymes.
Right.
And that's kind of all people need. Like, we've had this discussion, like, when you feel a song, all you need is just drum and bass, and that gets you into it.
Exactly.
Whereas I'm way more like, oh, where's my fucking sweet piano melody?
Right. And that's funny you bring that up, too, because drums is what actually got me into everything. Like, I wouldn't do none of this if it wasn't for, like, oh, okay, your brother gets the guitar, but we can't get you guys 2 guitars. We got to get you drums. So it's like, I was banging beats, man.
You're a great drummer, though. Like, you're still pretty good. When we were kids, though, let me tell you, like, you were the most amazing drummer I'd ever seen in my life, because you knew how to play. This sounds weird to people, maybe, but you knew how to play a simple hip-hop break that we could rap to. Right. And that was the most useful skill in the world.
Yeah, Questlove. Shout out Questlove, Oh, man.
Shout out to everybody.
I remember I was at Twist and Shout one time, and I was trying to
shout out to Twist and Shout.
Shout out to Extra Cool. This dude caught me. I was trying to steal some LPs from the cheap bin, and I put a $14.99 double LP from the Roots instrumental album in a fucking like $1.99 bin. That dude caught me and was like, come on, man. This is a double LP from the Roots, man. Show some respect. He's like, go put it back. I don't want to say shit.
For people that don't know, Extra Cool is a local Denver rapper.
Native.
And yeah, he's fucking awesome. He's been around forever, but he used to work at the local record store.
Where we used to dig.
Yeah, maybe I'll get that guy on here someday.
Yeah, man, you should. That would be amazing. You should get my boy Morpheus, too. That would be cool. Talk about some EDM shit. Your beats are almost in that vein as well.
I feel like I could play EDM with some of my lo-fi
beats. I was letting him know. Exactly. And your shit, Fly Low, dude, anyone I've ever asked that knows EDM scene, if it heard it Fly Low, they'd be like, yeah.
Well, because Fly Low, I think Fly Low is a big influence on a lot of the cats doing it now. Like, I'm always on SP forums and shit and Facebook groups and like...
So you're saying...
Yeah, and you could hear it in a lot of these cats. I think there's not as much of that in mine. Mine's more peeled back. I would, like... If you ask me what my inspiration is for most of these SP beats, it's Madlib and Dilla.
Exactly.
That's where my shit is
so
at.
Nasty, man. So, I don't know. That shit would be sick. But yeah. Good shit, man.
Wait, what? So what were we talking about before the Extra Cool thing, though?
I don't remember. Got away. It was something about records, drums, break beats.
Drums, exactly. I don't know. I think that's a healthy place to start for
definitely beats.
A musician.
What I was gonna say though is like, even though I love the beats, I make a beat starting with the melody. I don't ever start with just the break and the bass. That to me, that's like defeating the purpose of making a cool song, you know what I mean? Like, the melody, you want the melody to move you. The break will move you no matter what.
And I think a lot of people think that's the opposite.
Right.
But, well, that's weird, because I think drum and bass are the foundation of any song. Everyone knows that, but
that's why I think it comes last to me.
The other side of that, though, is like, even a band, like, what band is just sitting there like, all right, bass player and drum guy, you go first.
Just chill.
We'll build on that. That's not how it works. No. Everyone plays it once usually, but when it's just you, I think that is usually the first thing you think about, because that's where the entire tone is going to come from.
Yeah.
I have done beats like that, but 99% of the time, it's like, let me come up with this melody that's going to set the tone. It's going to strike me in a way that if this wasn't my song, I would be like, ooh, what is this? And then I'll just go off from there.
I used to chop shit that would be so weird, and I would make like the melody first so much that like even the sample that I was making wasn't on BPM with my drums. So half the time my drums didn't even kick, and you just have to listen to the melody. It'd be like a cappella song, and I'd be like, why aren't these drums looping? It's because I focused too much on the melody, messed up all my BPMs, and I think that's cool too. But
no, that's healthy as fuck. I'm gonna kill this dog. You guys hear it?
I hope you guys hear that, man. We're keeping dogs hostage back here with sausages, and
shout out to killing dogs.
Shout out to Killer Mike for killing dogs. I just heard him on a song with what is it, Bone Crusher and T.I. I think it was
another
like
dog killing reference.
Never Scared remix. I don't even know what we're talking about now, but. I mean...
No, I just remember that Run the Jewels line. Pull a pistol, put it on your poodle or your fucking baby. Something like that.
Killer Mike, dude. See? Subconsciously, I already knew that one. Shout out to Killer Mike. Kill your dog.
Yeah, we're gonna kill these dogs. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So like, with SPs, I mean, you have, like, a metronome in there and all that. There's a sequencer you can... Mm-hmm. quantize a little bit, but like what a lot of heads are onto nowadays, including myself, is the resample button, which is basically just recording your shit live. So it's like, come up with some melody chops, get your drums at least like kick and snare, and you play it all at the same time and record that into a loop. And so much of the time you transfer it over to the computer or something to try to loop it better, and you're just like, what is going on here? Like, where is the timing in this?
Right. That's what's cool about hardware versus computers, if people don't know. Like, I've always been a computer guy ever since I started using FL, but before that...
You started as a hardware guy,
It was hardware.
For people that don't know, the first beats we ever rapped to were made by Wrex on his mom's Casio. He had, like, 3 different drum sounds.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And I pitched them down, and they'd sound grimy, son. Shout out to Kev Brown, because that's how he say it.
Shout out to everyone.
Shout out to everyone. I'm sorry. There's a lot of shout outs today.
Shout out? That's way different.
How do we do it? What do I've been saying shout out. Shout out? I've been saying shout out my whole life.
No, that's what you just did say by accident.
Seriously, I've been saying shout out my whole life. It's shout out?
This is a good day for learning. Nah, you know what? It's not.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shots fired. That's another podcast, not us.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Fucking Jesus. Oh, goddamn. Okay, yeah.
Hardware. We were talking about hardware.
Yeah, so your first beats
software.
were like that, but my first beats were Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And I learned how to do that by watching you.
Just sitting over me like a helper.
I just sat behind you while you made 2 beats. I remember it like so vividly. I just sat behind you. You made 2 beats, and then, like, when you left that day, I was like, I'm doing this shit.
And the funny part is that was before we ever had MIDI. That was click and paste.
Yep, click and paste. Some of the biggest producers now just click and paste.
Click and paste. We were talking about that with freaking Morpheus the other night. If you can just compose music, you'll be sold. It
well, that's
necessarily
the thing. Is like, I know a lot of people hate on that, and I think I have a little bit of an instinct to hate on that, because my perspective is like, hardware is about capturing a moment.
Exactly.
You're playing the music and you're trying to capture the thing, and like there's just little tiny details that happen in between that.
Yeah.
And the clicking around method is more just like coming up with maybe the most solid thing there is.
Right.
Getting really like scientific and just like, I don't know, it's coming out with a polished product, but I don't think anyone's better than the other. I like the kind of beats I make, but like, I'll say, Yosef.
Yeah.
Yosef beats are like amazing, and Titus told me he just like clicks around. That's how he makes his beats,
and that's what's up. And that's probably why his shit's flawless. Because I mean,
and flawless, exactly. And that's what it is.
And yeah, exactly. It's snap grid. You know what I mean? Everything's perfect.
Yeah, and I had to move away from that.
Also depends on what samples you're using.
I was doing so much like Control Q, you know, on Ableton.
Right.
I think that's part of the reason I tried to move back into samplers, is because I just started hearing a lot of beats from people that I hadn't heard before. And it was like so many people on the SP forums, I hear their beats and I'm like, why isn't he famous? Like, this is amazing. It's just some kid in his fucking mom's basement or whatever.
Right now, half the time when you put on beats, I can't tell if it's you or someone else. I'd be like, did this dude make it? Did Philo make this? You'd be like, nah, that's you, man. That's me.
Well, that's weird, because I feel like I'm so far from that shit. But I try to be like it. And that's kind of the point of that, is like...
I think you're just getting good at sound design, man.
There's an aesthetic of beats that don't work with my rapping that I just like to make because I like to make them.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, Madlib Dilla. Like, That's not my lane to rap to, really. Every once in a while, I'll do that, but for the most part, that's not my thing.
Shit, a Flatbush song came on one time, and I was like, is this Brett? But it was something I never heard before. It was just the beginning. Yeah, I don't know. That's what happens. You're just getting good at sound design. I still sound like toy Fruity Loops, man.
Sound design's important.
Yeah.
It's just...
you need to learn how to mix.
Mixing is it's also a helpful tool in creativity, though. Like, I'll tell you, like, I know how to mix vocals and shit okay. I know how to, like, sort of master a song to, like, a sort of okay standard, you know? I'm not great at any of that by any means, but when it comes to vocals, I fucking hate it. I hate mixing vocals. There's little moments in it where, like, you do something kind of creative and weird, and you're like, oh, that's fun. But for me, like, the fun part about mixing is when you're making a beat and you incorporate mixing into the creative process.
Right.
Which you probably do to some extent already. You just hear a snare and you're like, that's a cool snare, but let me put some reverb on it.
Right, exactly.
Or, like, let me put some delay on this instrument, and I'll have that delay in it while I'm playing it.
Right.
Like, those moments for me, just let me make this sound different.
Exactly. Know? Different parameters. I mean... Yeah, I was messing with a beat the other night, and I was looking at it, and I had all kinds of crazy shit going on in there. I was like, I need to rework this. But yeah, it was like you were saying, as I was making it, I was putting crazy fucking filters on it. Different little EQs, trying to turn down the lows, make this kick sound different.
And that's where mixing is fun, and that's also where, like, knowledge of it is going to come into play more. So, like, if you know...
It takes a long time.
But...
You can't just export that shit.
Nah, but it's also just like, once again, I talk about SP beats so much, but I'm so into it right now. Another thing about the SP beats is, like, if you keep it all in the SP for as long as possible before taking it to a computer, which some people don't do at all, like the real purists, like, your thing is you have to resample a sound with your effect on it. Resample basically just means record it again.
Right.
Into a new little, like, bank
That's how it was on the ASR.
Yeah, so the thing is like, I have to add my little filter and my EQ, and I have to hope that shit sounds good enough. I have to dial it into where I'm really happy with it.
Right.
It's like, that's the new sound. That's the way that kick drum's going to sound from now on in the song forever.
Forever, yeah,
so you have to really consider it as you go along.
See, that's pretty cool, too, man. That's why the SP has its own sound, and I don't know. Hopefully that little mixtape we got going turns out real cool. I want to see that shit fucking fly.
I think it will. There also a lot of those are fun beats to rap to for people, I think, because it is kind of different in, like, our rap climate right now.
Yeah, not a lot of people are doing beats like that.
And if they are, there's not a lot of rapping happening to them. I could show you a ton of producers that make beats like that, and way better than mine, but it's just kind of like, it's so good as
so
a beat,
nostalgic for the sound, too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because there's those of us that came up in a certain era, I think.
Large professors.
I was thinking about this earlier today, because, you know, I have 4 CDs in my car. I have to listen to the same shit all day. Yeah. So the other day I got my Mad Villain CD to work. Actually, you did. And it's still working.
Shout out to Mad Villain.
I've been listening to Mad Villain on repeat, and, like, we came from the era where, like, that was part of our hip-hop consumption, you know, like, heavily.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have as many options either.
Yeah.
Because we weren't in the internet era yet. You remember that? Like, I don't even know how we found out about Mad Villain. It was probably just like, oh, it's either we knew about Doom first or we knew about Madlib first.
Yeah.
And just picked up that album and then just found out about him that way. We had the community of like just a few people, you know, when we walked into Angelo's, not many people were buying the albums we were buying.
No.
And that's how it was for everyone. The metalheads, the kids that were into like fucking pop punk or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything it was like your own little clique and like...
I remember when I bought a Grouch album and I bought the Crusader for Justice album and I was like, this is fucking bonkers. And I fucking somehow found out that he made beats on an ASR, and just the sound of that album, I was like, this is fucking fresh, man. This is what I want to do. But that was earlier too. That we were used to be juggalos, so we still thought we were chopping up beats with
that was earlier. And that's funny how all of us shared that music, because that's what you did. You gave me that Grouch album.
Yeah.
And I listened to it a bunch.
I listened to it recently, and I fucking thought that shit's fucking still gravy,
No,
baby.
It's amazing. But that's the thing, is like, we did come up in an era where I think we absorbed so many of those sounds. And there's just people out there all over, the kids that were at Angelo scouring the racks like we were before the internet, that are just like, I love that sound and I still want to make it.
Yeah.
And they're out there. And I think I was always that kind of person, but for a while it was just kind of like, I can't rap to this. What am I going to do with this beat?
Yeah.
And like, I think just the fact that I don't have a music career so hard that it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I go hard in the unpaint, you know? Like, it's just going so badly that it doesn't matter what I do. So why not just make a bunch of SP beats like I've been wanting to make forever?
Yeah.
And just give them to my friends.
Shit, I would, man. I gave up the ASRX. I feel sad about that. I don't know. I still want some hardware. That shit is... I look at it every day like he's never going to let me make a beat on that shit.
Well, because that's my baby. You gotta get your own. Get an OG.
Yeah, the 303.
Nah, there's two different models of the 404. The first one, I don't even know if that's the real name for it, but I think it was just the SP404. Right. This is the SX, which has some like little bit of different features. Some of the effects are different. And OG is the other one, but I want an OG really bad because you know the side chains that I do. Yeah. On my drums, you can do those.
They have that effect on there already?
Yeah, they have it on the 404 too, but it's so like harsh and just sounds weird when you do it. Some people can do it right, and I'm really mad at those people because I haven't figured out how to do it yet. But the OG just has a better like ducking effect for your weird compression.
Yeah. I've always loved hardware. If I could ever get that MPC to work, oh man, we'd be killing shit. I love that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think
you can get anything to loop on that thing.
I had more fun on the MPC than I did like making beats with MIDI controllers. Right. And that's what it comes down to for me is like, I know how to make a beat on anything. It doesn't matter. Like, give me pretty much any program, I'll figure it out. I know how to make a beat. Right. But something about sitting there on the MPC, having to really consider what you're doing. Yeah. Like, do I want to record from this record? Because is this sample even good enough? Is this going to be dope enough to where I'm going to want to make a whole beat around it? Crazy. And then you got to take the time to chop it up, and there's so much fucking weed smoke.
So much fucking weed smoke.
Because that's what it is. It's chilling time. Like, while you're getting the technical shit set out of the way.
Yeah. That's an art in its own, man.
Yeah, because I think it's just too quick nowadays sometimes. It's just like, I don't know. Like, I can load anything into Ableton right now. Warp markers everywhere, get my chops so easy without even trying. I don't even really have to listen to it. I could look at the waveform and get my chops more or less. Yeah. And that's fun, and that comes in handy sometimes, especially when I'm making beats that aren't, like, for me. Yeah. Like, when I'm making trap beats, hell yeah, I want to do that in Ableton.
Of course.
But...
Of course.
Yeah,
and you got to step at it, too, unless you're just exactly. Unless you're a badass, you can play 32 notes with your little nubs and digits, throw them in the air.
I've heard of people doing trap beats like that, but not exactly. Like, they fill in notes with other... Yes. You know, record another track and then fill in those notes, which makes sense to me.
Yeah, I forgot that one dude on YouTube with this Arab music. That's that dude. He makes all that trap music on his MPC, and that's pretty cool. Yeah,
you know how I do trap hats now? This is what I figured out. So, like, on my MIDI controller, there's a knob.
Yeah.
And I could put a arpeggiator
of course.
on the hi-hat and link it to the knob.
This guy.
Yeah, so it's just like,
yeah.
so it's playing the steady, like, and I just turn the knob and it, just machine guns them out, and then I go back to normal. But what I do is just record variations of that for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then I just go back and I cut out all the ones that sound like shit, and I just find like my golden take.
Right.
So it is the same thing a little bit.
That's
like,
pretty cool though. That's original.
For your moment.
It's an actual automation, whereas it would exactly.
And that's what
feels
I love to
live.
do in beats is like, oh, I stumbled upon a moment right there. That shit sounded good. Let me chop that out of the rest of that mess. Put it by itself.
See, that's cool. That's how we were making the dubstep wobbles. I tried to make a dubstep beat one time. You said it didn't really sound like
it didn't sound like dubstep. It just sounded like just a cool beat that you made. Yeah. Like that was in your own realm because you were trying to make it dubstep. Yeah. It ended up being something I think like way more unique than that.
Right. But I was doing the same thing, little wobbles, fucking automation on the knob. Yeah, I don't know. Making beats, I need to get back into it. I was listening to a beat the other night. I think I fucking sent you a snap of it. I thought I was cool or something. Did I send you a snap of a beat?
I don't know. To be honest, I skip a lot of people's snaps. Oh, is it just that one of the speaker?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't even tell you if it was dope, because my immediate thought was that you were just sending me, like, the song you were listening to or something.
Oh.
Like it was Flatbush or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
Like, I was just like, I'm not going to listen to this through Snapchat.
God darn
sorry.
it. No, it's alright.
Send me that and I'll listen to it.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't done that shit for a while, but, oh man, when I get to
alright, so what would it take for you to, like, in your mind, what does it take to get back into shit?
I am the worst, honestly. I smoke so much weed. I try to tell myself, oh man, if I get some good OG, I'll fucking work on some shit. Honestly, it's just a good week where I have nothing to do, and I feel like I want to be by myself. Lately, I've been in this weird mood. I used to be a lot more depressed, and I would just kind of get stuck in this cycle of like partying every night with friends, and the weekend warrior thing is killing me right now. I don't know how to just be a man and take it easy on the weekends. As soon as Friday hits, it's like there's an obligation. It's like I'm at my other job. I need to be there. It's like I could be at home working on shit. But it's more or less just being a friendly guy. Like, I got a lot of people
and that's
in
how
my
a lot
life.
of people get their, like, energy. It sounds corny, but there's, like, I don't know. Some chick gave me a whole book on this that's, like, about, like, introverts and how they get their energy from just, like, being alone and doing shit like I'm doing, like making beats.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are like, I need to be around humans and, like, have fun and be communal with them, and that's how I'm going to recharge myself for that next week.
And that's kind of what it is. That makes sense. I mean, you just kind of hit it. I recharge myself, I feel like, through my friends and, like, my interactions with people, because it's like, I don't know, being alone sucks. I'm alone all the time, so it's like, you know what I mean?
I agree to an extent, but, like, I like being alone as long as I'm doing something, if I'm occupied. And maybe that's the other part where the music comes in.
Right.
Because it's like, I can be alone all day if I have something to do, but if I'm really uninspired or just plain bored, those are the moments where I'm like, I need someone around or I'm going to fucking lose it.
I used to make beats all the time when I lived at my mom's house when we had a separate studio, and it felt like I would waste the whole day just making beats, but to me, I didn't look at it like, oh, I made this beat. I'd be like, damn, I wasted the whole day. I feel weird. But at the same time, it's like I created something. But if you don't ever put that shit out, I feel like it would be a waste of time. That's why music is kind of a struggle right now. It's like, fuck, man, I want to make it and I want to do something at the same time, but I always forget
like
about the
such
creative
the wrong way
part
to
of
think
it.
about it, though, which is we all fall victim to that. We're all in that trap.
Because why I do it in the first place is the creative part and the fun part, and it's so
Dude, half the music I made in the past year is just me going like, what kind of music can I make that's going to make people not think I'm too weird to listen to?
Right.
Which is the stupidest thing to do. You just need to... I mean, sometimes do those songs, but just do it for the experience.
Right.
Like, I can open up 100 projects right now, but only, like, maybe 30 of those are going to be songs, if that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
I'm still stuck on all those old projects, man. I think they're all going to be songs soon or something.
See, I move on.
I'm losing my mind. Like, that one's going to be cool
I move on.
soon.
If something just loses its shelf life for me, then I'm like, that wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Maybe I learned something from it, and then I move on, and that's pretty much it.
I still got a beat from a while ago, that Your Tone beat that I gave you. I still think that one needs to be something. I don't know if you remember that one.
I don't think I do.
It's pretty cool, man. It's not too trappy, but it was like my own way. Wish we were like them on. We could throw them on right now.
I mean, I could, but I don't. That's
nah,
not
I don't
how
have
show
it
works.
really on me. We don't have an input. Well, we got a mixer, but we're not ready.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. You can show me.
We're tardy.
Time.
We're tardy to fucking tartar class, and that's class for tartar sauce with fish stick heads. That's my new band name. I met a guy at the union meeting the other day with a Guttermouth t-shirt.
Yo, wouldn't that be funny, though? A Fish cover band. Because Fish mostly does covers anyway. So they do their own covers of Fish covers.
Dude, exactly.
Fish stick head.
Fish stick head doing fish
covers.
They
also do Radiohead covers.
Anything that has to do with fish or head.
But only covers of other people doing Radiohead covers, like Prince doing Creep. Everyone just does Creep.
But what about Buckethead? That dude has more music than fucking everyone combined.
Is he doing covers, though?
I don't know if you could do a Buckethead cover. No. He has
then he can't be incorporated into this fictional band that I love.
Because buckets of fish sticks would work.
I think Fish Stick Head is fine. We figured it out. We figured out the math. We went there, learned the ancient secrets. But, yeah, we're running out of time, so hit everybody with your social media.
Yo, this is Mike Wrex. For those of you that like to be my friend on Facebook, I'm Taylor Davenport right there. I'm going to put it out there. You give me a call, man. I don't have my number on there. Anyways, from my Instagram fans, you got to listen. Dr. Donald Dringus. I got underscores between all those. If you can't spell Dringus, figure it out. But let's get back to it. Mike Wrex on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Follow me.
And that's spelled how?
M-I-C, one word, W-R-E-X, second word. Mike Wrex. Follow me on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Facebook. I'm on there too as Mike Wrex. I don't ever do shit as Mike Wrex. Follow me as my own name. I ain't gonna say it again. The government's watching and listening.
Yes, I hope someone sends you something just weird as fuck.
From my own account. Just lets me know.
Just like friend requests you and then just sends you like a picture of a
puppy
puppy holding like a bouquet of flowers in its mouth, and that's like the end of the interaction.
I would be weird, but yeah.
Matter of fact, do that to me.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna close it out.
Shout out to B More. That's my dude since day one. We've been in this shit
out to everybody.
10+ years, fucking killing the game.
Wow, we got more on the way too.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that.
Mike Wrex and B More,
all right.
Dynamic duo.
All right, we're out. Word.
Peace.